again and again. Think we're good now. Hope you guys. Can you see the time on that?
No.
Let me check and make sure the time's working. As long as the time's working, I think that we're good.
Well, I just got a notification for it.
Okay, so you got actual notification. All right, so we're actually live and we're up. I sound like an astronaut, but hey, it works out. So here today, we got. Tell me your name.
Caleb Shepard.
All right, we're not gonna waste any time. We're gonna get to these questions. So who is Caleb Shepard?
Well, I'm a student athlete at East Coweta High School. I graduate this year in May. I used to play basketball at EC, but now I'm running track.
What do you run in track, Caleb?
800, 400, and I'm doing high jump this year.
High jump, okay. wait. I saw the high jump. Cause me and Chandler, we were out there running. I was like, that's what Caleb's gonna be on. And I was telling Chandler that he might be on that too. You know, Chandler, shout out to him. He always trying to get us to do things on time. You know, he does nothing on time. We showing up late. But what do you think about high jump?
I mean, we haven't really started it yet, but I heard that it's mostly suited for basketball players, and I'm pretty flexible, so it should be pretty good.
Wait. Pause. Alright. Where are you from?
I was born in LaGrange Hospital, but I grew up in Moreland, Georgia, even though most people haven't heard of that.
Moreland, Georgia? Okay.
Yeah.
Wait.
What?
Wait, hold on. Wait. How close is that? Did you say 20 minutes away? Or is that where you grew up?
Yeah, I grew up in Moreland, Georgia.
Where were you born?
I was born in LaGrange Hospital.
Yep. That's what it was. Okay. Alright. This is a weird question, but what do you do? You kind of already told us that, but.
Yeah, I mean, I work at Wendy's right now, a part-time job, and I run track at East Coweta. That's pretty much all I do right now.
Ooh. Alright, what's your favorite pastime?
I mean, I like to play basketball. Mostly just hanging out with my friends and stuff, hanging out with family.
Okay. Let me check, make sure this thing is right. It don't look like I see Chandler in this. I don't know what he's doing. I see nobody.
Bro.
I see nobody in here. Text him and see what he's doing.
He literally texted us 2 minutes ago.
What do you say? Now they're texting me.
Is it live?
Yes, go. Like, get on. Tell them to get on.
We're live right now.
Imagine if it worked, like somehow it wasn't working. Let me see. They would stop texting. Go up. It literally says nobody.
Bro.
Nobody. Tell them to hop. Hey, you try to hop in. Oh shoot! It's me. Is that me? Is that me? No, that's not. I swear to gosh, that's me. Wait, what's up? That's actually me. So they can join it. They're just tripping.
Bro, what the heck?
Yeah. You. All right. So let's get back to it. They're joining. They just a little slow. Don't worry about them. They a little bit. Our friends.
I guess they're gonna be late.
Yep.
I don't know what they're doing.
They're a little bit. All right. So, what's the best moment of your life that you can remember?
Best moment, probably my first time going to Disney World.
What took place at Disney World? You met a little crush or something?
No.
Here, you got the mic since you're telling the story now.
I just remember like going on a bunch of rides and stuff and going to the water parks.
What would you do? Like, what happened? Or you just love them water parks and rides?
I just remember it was like a unique experience my first time going there.
You said you need.
Yeah,
Do you remember one ride that you got on?
no.
About how old were you?
I think it was like my 5th birthday.
Oh, dang. You said Disney. What Disney?
Disney World,
I feel like.
Orlando.
Oh, Florida. I know you like Florida. You might go and live in Florida.
We'll see.
Alright. Next question. What's your craziest moment at EC? This is a tough.
I've had a lot of crazy moments, but I remember in 9th grade, my friend, we were sitting at lunch, and then this girl randomly came up to my. And I think she asked for his number, his snap, or something.
Yeah.
And then we were all just sitting there. It was the most awkward thing ever.
Bro, I had a, well, not anymore because my phone broke. My phone was acting up. I can't remember. Oh, my dog kicked my phone out of my hand. But let's not talk about that. But my phone broke, and I had pictures of it. Caleb was like this, hiding his face, trying to hide his laugh, while the girl was talking to my friend. The friend will be in another story later, but it was hilarious. She came up. Her friends were trying to encourage her to do it. She came up and was talking to him. Blah blah blah. They ended up not working out, but hey, all things work out.
I mean, credit to her for being bold, though.
I know.
It was 9th grade.
I
She just
know.
went up to him randomly.
It's better when girls go up
Yeah.
to you. When they don't, it's just I don't know. Everything's left on the boys, don't you think?
Yeah. So props to her, even though I don't remember her name.
I don't remember her name. Does she even go to our school? Have you seen her?
I don't even know.
All right. Next question. I said question. Next question. Who are your three biggest inspirations?
For first of all, my dad, because of his faith. And
Hold up. Let me clap it up for your dad. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right, keep going.
my dad really encourages me to always like keep God first in my life, and how he's gone through so many things in his life, and people have always like counted him out for certain things. It just encourages me to continue pushing forward.
Okay.
And then also, I know you don't want me to say it.
Wait, hold on. Who are you about to say? Oh, LeBron?
No.
Oh, me?
Oh. Stetson Bennett, quarterback from Georgia.
Oh my God.
No, dude, you have to listen to his story though, because
First of all, you need to tell us a little rerun of the story. I don't even know.
okay, he started off as a walk-on at Georgia.
Power off.
Are you turning back on?
Bluetooth mode.
Alright, it's back on now.
So yeah, first he started off as a walk-on at Georgia. He was like he didn't even really get a chance to practice or anything because they didn't like really get to see like any of his talent or whatever. Then he had to transfer to a junior college for a couple of years.
Wait, so he was at Georgia, then went to junior college, then went back?
Yes, then he went back thinking like, I forgot what year it was. And then he was the third string quarterback going into last season. A couple quarterbacks got injured. And it turns out he had to start for like 8 games or something. And then he ended up getting benched. And then everyone never wanted to see him on the field again. And then going into this season, he was like a second string quarterback. The starting quarterback got injured. And then Stetson just took off from there. People doubted him in every game he played in. And then, but he did nothing but win, except in the SEC championship. He had a rough game, and everyone like started sending him so much hate and like death threats and stuff. After one bad game, he lost one game all season. People acted like it was the end of the world. And then he ended up winning the national championship Georgia. And as a kid, he told his dad that he would be the starting quarterback for Georgia. And then he ended up manifesting it in his life years later.
Dang, that's crazy.
So it's really one of the most inspirational stories I've heard.
Born in someplace that starts with an M. Georgia. Okay.
I forgot.
Maybe.
It's
Yeah.
like a small town in Georgia.
Yep. That's crazy.
But then my third inspiration, that's tough. I might have to go with LeBron. Even though it's the traditional one. But yeah, like where he came from, like
Yes,
single
sir.
brother
Ohio.
from Akron, Ohio.
You know, Cavs. How to rep the Cavs.
Yeah, and people continue to bash him, even though he really hasn't done anything like scandalous throughout his entire career. That's pretty rare for someone of like his stratosphere to like not like have any like affairs or anything. Like to stay pretty clean, and like he cares about his community. People still continue to hate him for that. He just decided to be himself, and he's one of the greatest to ever play the sport. So
That is true. Racist people, racist people were trying to give him too much hate for no reason. Some people hate on him for no reason. I'll be hating him. It's like I'm just kidding. I just give him smack. Well, when we have debates, to say the GOAT debate, we might get into that later. But I still love LeBron. You know, has a little Ohio side in him. And you can't deny that he's great. You can't deny that he's top 2 or 3 or whatever. You can't deny.
they can't really deny his greatness at this
You
point,
can't.
even though people try to. You really can't.
Averaging like 28 right now in the 19th season.
Yeah. Like even if you don't think he's the greatest of all time, that's debatable.
Yeah.
But when you look at like all-time greatest, he's easily top 3.
Mhm.
So
Like no doubt at all.
yeah.
No doubt at all. All right, let's get to the real questions. All right, hardest tribulation you've gotten through, and what's the lesson you learned from it?
Well, recently, I found out that my uncle committed suicide like a big months ago. That was like really difficult because you always think like, what could I have done to like prevent this? But like I didn't know that he was going through this. But like me and my family, we just realized like it's not like what happens to you, it's really how you respond to it. So like each day, like try to send love to the people in your life, and like always cherish the memories that you have with them. And yeah, that's pretty much it.
Were you able to like? Did you have times where you were able to be close to him or them before it happened? Like, were you close recently? Like able to speak to them?
Yeah, like we have like family gatherings and stuff, but I hadn't really seen him like it was probably like months before he passed away. And it was really just a shock to me because like we had no idea what he was going through, and like you would think that like you're close with your family, but you never really know unless you like have those deep conversations with them.
Yeah, I feel like you can live in the same household, but everyone battles something else.
Yeah.
Everyone battles a whole different thing. You can live in, like, rooms could be your room or your sister's room. You gotta go through life so differently. You have to do so much different struggles. Hers life could be easier, or you guys can just be hard, but it's hard differently
Yeah.
in different ways. Well, that's good. All right. So, what's the craziest moment with the boy?
No.
Bruh. Bruh.
That was like the first day I started driving.
The first day he got he got his license.
I was like I finally get to drive by myself, so I might as well hang out with one of my close friends. I'm not gonna say his name, Michael Bedoya. Yeah, we were just
whipping the
yeah, we were like went to Ashley Park, had some ice cream, we talked for a couple hours, and then it was probably like 2 or 3 hours. And then we went to my car, and then we were just like chilling around my car and stuff, and then some random guy He yelled out to him.
Yelling up to you?
Yeah, he was like 10 feet away. He was like, hey, type of car is this? I said, what's this? And then he said, what model or something? I'm like, this is my first time really driving it. Like, I don't know the model and all that. And then he said, y'all looking suspicious. And then we were like, okay.
You guys actually say I'm okay?
Yeah, well, like, we didn't know how to respond to it, so we were like, I don't know what that's supposed to mean. And then he said, I think y'all stole this car. And then that really caught me off guard because I'm like,
who are you?
I'm like, where did that even come from? Like, because I didn't know the model of the car or something. But I'm like, but I knew, like, after a while, deep down, like, what it was, like, really rooted towards.
What was the guy like? Like, describe him. You probably on this live right now.
I think he had, like, brown hair or something. And he was, like, probably, like at least 6 feet tall. He was, like, not really too big, like an average sized guy.
Was he, what age? About what age range?
He was I think he was probably in like his 30s, at least late 20s or something. And then he was like, he hopped in his car. He said, "I called the cops." I'm like, oh, like okay. I'm like, you're wasting their time, but okay. And then there's like this girl like who was in the car with him. She didn't say a word. She was just sitting there.
Was it a girl or like they looked about the same age? Like it was his wife, girlfriend, or something like that?
I couldn't even really tell. Like it could have been his daughter, his girlfriend. I couldn't tell.
He probably knew what they do. He
And then
knew kids.
yeah, he just drove off. I'm like, who calls the cops on someone and then just drives off? And then
that's how I know he's in the wrong. That's how I know he's just accusing.
yeah. And then like I didn't really know what to do. And then but luckily my friend Michael, he stood there by me. I'm like
he didn't run away.
but Michael, he was more mad than I was because like he was like he didn't believe it. I'm like but we both knew like why he really did it because like my friend Michael, he's Mexican and I'm black, so you know how that is.
Yep, you know, from people down here,
Yeah.
in Georgia, baby.
And then
scared.
I had to call my parents, and then we had to wait like 15 minutes for the cops to show up. And then they ended up getting on the phone with my parents, and that was really just a waste of time.
Yeah.
Like, and then it was kind of weird having to drive back home, and like.
That's your first time driving.
Yeah.
When was that? That was April 2021.
Mm-hmm.
I got my license in April. She says, you will not be traveling.
Bluetooth mode.
Alright. Is that about it? On that question?
Yeah.
Alright. Wait. No, I gotta hit him with the. Alright. Let's go to advice for incoming freshmen.
I would say just be yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Like, don't listen to what other people say. Like, like you really just need like a few good friends, like maybe like 3 or 4 that you can stick around, and like don't try to be like everyone else. Like try to join like a club or a sport or something that interests you, so you can find people that you can connect with. Like just make sure to like always stay on your grades because you know your parents will get on you for it. And just like try to have a good relationship with your teachers because they can of course help you out. And yeah, just like be yourself and don't really try to stress over it because it's much easier than like what people say.
Yeah. Well, it could be easier. It could be simple, unless you complicate it. So
don't make it too complicated.
It's not that complicated.
Yeah. Honestly, I feel like middle school at times was more difficult than high school. Like with schoolwork and stuff, so it's really not a big deal.
You gotta make it through. You gotta see it through, my boy. You gotta see it. Alright. For the last question. Dang, this actually went by fast. We might get some. You want me to ask some more warm-up questions?
If you want, if you have any ideas.
What do you look for in the girl?
Really.
He's in it right now. That's right. Alright, you might as well hurry up before it starts trying to act up again. Chats and them talking. Bro, can people hop in? Can people join in?
Yeah, what are they doing? Why are they texting?
They over texting, but they not in live. Come on, bro.
They'll see it later.
Yeah, we're gonna have to get views later. I know Chandler will watch it.
But yeah, I guess in a girl, like, you have to be trustworthy. You have to, I mean, you don't have to be intelligent, but it'll be nice.
You would be stupid, but it would be better if you're smart, you know.
Yeah. I just want someone I can trust, someone who treats people right, preferably someone who has the same faith as me, which is a Christian.
That's good.
Even though I don't like discriminate towards people, but like that's just what I prefer.
Yep. Okay. Is that about it? Let me think of another question. What's another quick easy question? Who would you not let your daughter date out of your friends and why?
Okay, I'm sorry, but definitely not Ethan.
Oh, why not Ethan?
Well, there's so many reasons why.
That we cannot say on TV.
Yeah, I don't know if we can say it on YouTube.
Yeah, it might get taken down.
They're supposed to be family friendly.
Yep.
I know, Ethan's just crazy. I don't know.
I don't know how Z acts with girls. It might be Z or Ethan.
Yeah.
It might. I don't know about Shad. I mean, Shad, he'll probably be fine.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's just because of the way that Ethan thinks. Like, I don't know. Yeah. And the stuff that he be telling us he does with his girlfriend, I wouldn't want my daughter to be doing that.
Man. Alright. Let me think of this. How do you feel about Georgia winning the national championship?
Well, it felt so great to finally see my team win. Like, I've been through so many heartaches.
Tell the story about it.
No.
Tell the story,
No,
please,
I
bro.
can't. No. Oh.
Tell it.
I can't.
Tell it.
No. But either way, I was crying about 4 years ago about Georgia losing a national championship.
I knew you was crying. You said you weren't crying. I knew you was
Oh, I didn't say. Okay.
I knew you was tearing up.
Yeah, especially, you know, like how the Falcons always disappoint me. And
That's why you gotta be an Ohio State or Oregon fan.
when's the last time Ohio State won a championship?
That's why you gotta be a Cardinals fan. Ohio State won a championship 2014 versus Oregon.
Exactly. Georgia just won. Oregon's never won.
They're going to win next year.
Cardinals have never won.
Cardinals are winning this year. Arizona Cardinals winning this year. I promise.
Yeah, we're not gonna get into that, but yeah, it was just very emotional after they disappointed me so many times. It was just great to see it, especially seeing someone like Stetson Bennett win it. It actually gave me hope personally, because like, no matter how many setbacks you go through, you just have to trust in yourself and always bet on yourself, no matter what people say, because millions of people count out Stetson Bennett, and he just didn't listen to them. And like my dad said, what other people's perception of you doesn't define who you truly are. It only matters about what you think about yourself and what God says about you. So.
Yes, sir. Man, I kind of want to take this home. Being local time pop, it's pretty cool. All right, last question before we get to the DRose and stuff. What are your plans for the future? What are some goals and aspirations you have for the future?
this year, in track, I wanna set some records in the high jump because like. I mean, I can jump pretty high. You can ask the
This man is dunking, like dunking. He can dunk off the 2 feet, and just flush it, like bro.
Yeah, I feel like I can do pretty well in high jump. Probably make it to state, and you never know what can happen from there. And try and get accepted to the University of Georgia.
Yeah. What are you gonna do at Georgia? You think you're gonna still play sports, or what are you gonna study?
I might try to do track there if I get like a scholarship. And basketball, of course, is always an option. And depending on getting a degree, probably in journalism or multimedia or something.
Ooh, you gonna see Caleb arguing with Stephen A. Smith?
He's gonna lose every time too.
Oh, Stephen A. Smithy. All right, so last question: Prime DRose or Prime Westbrook?
Prime Westbrook.
I say Prime DRose. You know, I grew up as a Bulls fan. I'll be trying to dunk on my mini hoop as a kid. That's where I got #1 from. That's where I got my favorite color red. No, I grew up as a Bulls fan. Then kind of went to the Cavs, and Golden State. Steph Curry. You already know.
Why is Derrick Rose better in his prime then?
Derrick Rose is better in his prime because he's the youngest MVP. 2 years young.
Westbrook averaged a triple-double for like what, 3 straight seasons?
I want to know his exact averages. I want to know if you did your homework. You didn't do your homework.
What do you mean averages? You mean like
Exact points per game.
he averaged like 30 points per game in 2017 on like 10 rebounds and 10 assists.
Okay, so I see that Westbrook does have higher stats because DRose averages 25 points per game. 7.1 assists and 4.1 rebounds. But again, what age was Russell Westbrook? About
This
28,
like
29.
like 28 or something.
Yeah, but DRose was 22 years old, 3 years into the league. You gotta
Does that make him a better player though?
Yeah. Yes, that makes him better player at the time. Because, bro,
It's more impressive, yeah, like to do it at a younger age, but it doesn't make him the better player though.
I think it does because I get what you mean because you're like you can't really grade off of potential, but that young of an age, 3 years into the league, that's like John Morant right now, and Russell, whatever it is, I don't know, 7. That's a big difference. That's a big difference.
But that doesn't make him the better player though. That's like saying just because Ja is younger and he's putting up great stats, that makes him better than Steph right now.
Oh yeah, true, but also just because he has better numbers doesn't mean that he's a better player. Would you say Jokic is better than? Some people say Jokic is better than Steph, but that's total cap. Because of course he's gonna get other better stats like rebounds and stuff. He's about 7 foot. Steph is 6'2", 6'3".
Okay, you can't say that about Russ and Derrick Rose because they're both 6'3".
All right, so let's get to the season. Let's get to what the teams have done. You know, a player is also, you don't just win MVP based on stats solely. We saw that with Steph Curry. Steph Curry should have won last season. He should win this season because Golden State's top 3, but they're tripping and they're literally trying to give it away, literally holding this man back. I'm mad, but all right. So in 2010, 2011, the Bulls were 62 and 20. What was the OKC? Oh, yeah, we're 35. That's a big difference.
Look at the teams though. Derrick Rose had Joakim Noah. I think Todd Gibson was on their team. Carlos Boozer. He had Tom Thibodeau.
But also, like, I feel like OKC, like, he had Steven Adams. He had.
Steven Adams. He wasn't as good back then.
Yeah, but like, well, you had budding Victor Oladipo.
Well, he was so inconsistent back then, though. If you watched them, he was so inconsistent, and he was injured a lot.
That is. All right, let's get back to what we're speaking. Oh, but also Derrick Rose, he's the fifth player. Dude, I'm not even gonna get into that. Wait, I should get. He's the fifth player to score 2,000 points, 600 assists, and 300. I don't know what that. 300 rebounds. 300 something in a single season in the NBA.
Okay, there you know Russell Westbrook had higher stats.
Oh, that's what I'm saying.
Well, you just
Check out the field goal percentage. Derrick Rose's field goal percentage 2010-2011 season, which I was watching as a child, enjoying. His field goal percentage was 44.5. What was Westbrook's?
Like 42 or
Yeah.
something. Okay, that's
Therefore,
2%
whole
difference.
efficiency is better. 2.5.
Yeah.
That's lucky there. All right, how many turnovers did Russell Westbrook have?
Like 4.7.
That's a lot.
Yeah, that's bad, but still, he was carrying that team.
Yeah,
Like
he did have
he was, he just lost Kevin Durant, and he had to carry that entire team on his shoulders that year.
He really came with a vengeance. It was actually fun to watch that too. But all right, let's get to 3-point percentage. I think you beat me there. Derrick Rose's was 33%. And
Russ was 34.
yep. I wish we would have looked at how many shots how many threes they would take.
Kevin Durant.
Oh, of course. Of course. I was thinking back in the day, I'm like, oh, okay, see that far back in the day. The super song. But, okay.
It had to mean a lot to OKC because after KD just betrayed them like that, and they're still able to bounce back and make the playoffs. When a lot of people didn't even think they would make the playoffs the year after.
KD, okay.
Yeah, and then Westbrook, he had to like show up. That was really his coming out, like to show that he.
What he actually do?
Yeah, that he was a top 10 player at the time.
KD not getting enough shots because KD shoots like 20 times a game. But he be making them, so hey, can't say nothing. But yeah, you did see Russell Westbrook's game flourish because he was free to beat him.
Yeah.
Do you think that KD held him back?
I don't know about held him back because like I feel like Russ was in a good role like with Kevin Durant. Like they had like a good dynamic between the both of them. So but I felt like you didn't like see like his true potential until Kevin Durant left. I think he showcased it even when he had Paul George on his team. Like he still played with that same mindset.
Yeah. I'm trying to think of Westbrook's performances that year, but I can't really think of them. Do I respect Westbrook? No, respect him. Love to meet him. It was great. It was great MVP season and everything. Him and Derrick. I'm gonna just say it, just so I can do it, so nobody will be mad. I'm saying that since they're both shooting 33 and 34% from three, let's just say this is what was going up all season. that, in case you didn't know, that was a brick. In case you didn't know, that was a brick.
Oh, why do they keep texting?
They keep texting. They're blowing up the group chat. They are not in the live. But respectfully, that's what they would throw up. But you guys can decide who won, who you think is better, DRose or Russell Westbrook. I say DRose.
I say Westbrook. I mean, they both had great seasons, though. Respect to Derrick Rose, too.
Respect to Russell Westbrook.
That's the same word. You might meet him one day, so you can't.
Respect to Russell Westbrook. All respect. But, yeah, that's about it. You guys decide. Give us new ideas and questions for the next episode. Hey, you can even ask a request to be a guest on the next episode. Who knows? We might be in a different spot, or we might be here again. Who knows? We were supposed to be at my house set up, but let's just say we're at a disclosed area. We're at a disclosed. Let's just say we're at a disclosed area now. We rented out a whole studio in Columbus, Ohio. Let's just say we're in Columbus, Ohio. All right.
Yeah, if you're not in the live, you can't be a guest.
Oh.
No, I'm just kidding.
Actually, that would be good. then the channel never start hopping on the line. But yeah, you guys decide who won, who you think is better, DRose or Westbrook, or just tell us comments and questions. Ask some questions about Caleb, what you thought, and I guess it ended at the right time. Well, Caleb, thanks for coming on the show. What should be our ending? Since it's the first episode, we can decide what the ending is. What's the funny thing we said with our friends? Do you want to make it? I don't know. I'm trying to think of something from 10th grade. Remember Will and Shasta? I'm not paying no rent. I mean, I'm not paying no. Nah, we can't go out like that. We cannot go out like that. Let me get this for the last segment.
Bluetooth mode.
Yeah, you better turn on. Remix. Yes, sir. Kind of want to change my voice to sound like a
You
little
were higher.
higher.
Yeah.
Like make it higher.
Yeah.
Let me see. Hello. Let me see. Hold up. I think that's it. Hello. You should be able to change like the actual.
Magic someone.
Whoa.
You sound like Alvin from Alvin and the Chipmunks.
Whoa. It's loud.
What's the last thing I used to say? What should be our ending? It's too loud. I can't even just go to school and talk like this. That's hilarious.
Alright,
Magic sound 2.
Oh, they're annoying real quick.
I know. Ooh. I sound like a teenager. I am a teenager. I sound like Mike the Mike doesn't sound good. Alright. What's the one last thing we should say?
Want to be like a random catchphrase or something?
Yeah. What's a random catchphrase? Sorry guys, it'll take you a while to end this, but you do it if you do it.
No.
Do it with the deep voice. I'm gonna get closer. You say you have to say